If I have an activity that I want to do in class, I wouldn't simply walk in and say, hello everybody, look at this, we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I would try to engage them in the activity in some way to start with. If my activity is to help my learners understand, once again, the water cycle, then I may start by chatting to them about a local lake where they like to go for relaxation, to do water sports or something similar. Or I may chat to them about the weather and just get their opinions and their feelings. In some ways, it's a hook to drag them in to the main text or the main activity that you're going to do. And it's sometimes people call it activation of schemata. That is, getting them thinking about the topic before you actually focus on the aspect of the topic that you're dealing with. Getting them thinking about the topic in general. What this may do, they may do it in pairs, they may brainstorm a topic onto a board, but what this will do will bring out how much they already understand, how much knowledge they already have about the topic, and you can use that to modify your lesson if necessary, to think to yourself, I need to do a bit more of work on this rather than that, because they seem to not know much about that. It would also throw up key vocabulary that may be required for the subject.
Organising who is doing what in the group work, giving them roles and making sure that one learner may be responsible for gathering the geography materials, the maps, compasses, rulers. Another learner might be responsible for timekeeping and keeping the group in English. Another member might be writing down any use of L1 so they can check it at the end. And someone else might be just praising them and saying, come on guys, we can do this better, or we're doing quite well.
Almost a coach on the side.
Or also noting what they find difficult. So again, they can give feedback.
The students will then be much more naturally engaged and have these routines and habits to use in their lesson. They will know with the roles, for example, if somebody's told they are going to be the coach or the observer or whatever, they will know precisely what those mean. They'll just get straight on with it. And then they can focus that much more on the language side of things as well. And it makes everything all round much easier, both for them and for the teacher.
And then getting them interested, I may say, okay, so we are going to talk about the water cycle. I'm going to show you a diagram. I want you to predict two things that you might see in that diagram. And in this way, I give them a focus, a reason for doing the task that I want them to do. And so there's quite a lot of work to be done, I think, before you actually begin working with the material, the task or activity, rather like an athlete, footballer, whoever, warming up before playing the game or running the race. The warm-up is vital. They have to do that. And I think of this as a kind of mental warm-up.
But every now and then, we kind of have a bit of a break. We say, okay, how are we thinking? How can we solve this problem? What sort of approaches can we, how can we approach that, can we use different perspectives to solve that problem? And also, I think every now and then we must stop and think about the best way, for example, to compare and contrast something. For example, when it comes to climate, sometimes we say, okay, can we compare these two climates, but which is the best way to compare? Maybe we should pay attention to things that these two climates have in common. Maybe we should pay attention to differences. So before getting to any sort of conclusion, we very much think about pay attention to the process to get to a conclusion. So I think not only thinking, but thinking about thinking is very important in the process.